Hello and welcome back to Jack Knives Reviews. I'm of course your host, Jack Knives. Today we'll be looking at the new interpretation of an old classic horror, Blumhouse's Wolfman. A family go to a remote farmhouse where the father is attacked by an unseen animal in the woods. Slowly he becomes less and less like himself and starts to see his family like prey. So this is the second attempt at trying to modernize a horror classic from the Universal lineup. The first being Invisible Man, which was a fantastic movie, although not quite what people were expecting, but in a good way. This one, well, I'll get into that in a second. It was directed by Lee Whannell, who, as many people know, as one half of the co-creators of Saw. He was actually in the movie Saw as the other guy chained in the room. I want to say that there are parts of this that I like. The aspect of turning lycanthropy into a disease more than a transformation, little by little. It's been done, and I think it's been done better in certain aspects. There's a movie that came out several years ago that kind of tackled turning a monster person into a affliction, and it progresses over time. And no, I'm not talking about Cronenberg's The Fly, but it did take inspiration from that, and it's obvious from watching this. The problem is, with regards to this movie in particular, you want to see a Wolfman movie, and you want to see a movie about werewolves. You want to see a transformation that makes you actually engaged. Unfortunately, no transformation will ever be as good as American Werewolf in London. Many have been really good, but unfortunately this one is not one of them. It also really irks me for two main reasons. First, the entire cast has zero chemistry. It feels like a movie, but not a good movie, like a movie that you're on the side of holding the camera watching, so you could see the script and the actors. That's what it feels like with this movie. There's nothing to invest in, and I see what they're going for. They're trying to do Cronenberg's The Fly meets Cujo, which is an interesting dynamic and an interesting concept. And I think in the right hands, with a better script, it could work. This ain't it, though. Julie Garner, bless her heart, is trying so hard to carry this movie. She plays the mother and basically is the only one attempting to care. Well, when she's trying to care. Which is weird because I loved her in Apartment 7A and I thought she did a fantastic job in that. So I was kind of expecting more from her, and I think it has more to do with a bad script than anything else. Not to mention the fact that for some reason the girl, who's the little girl, the daughter, is, I want to say 12, but she's acting like a 5-year-old. It's weird. It's like, imagine a 12-year-old going, "Mommy, I need help," and you're like, and they don't establish, like, oh, she has like special needs or her brain's not developed or anything like that. She's just a kid acting like a toddler, and it's weird. Maybe they couldn't get a toddler. Maybe they could. I don't know. It was just weird. The reason I haven't talked about the actor who plays the Wolfman is because you don't know anything about him. He doesn't do much. He's just there. There's aspects of it that I thought were kind of cool. Through the transformation, he can't hear his family, so he just hears muffling when they talk, so it's like he's hearing less and less of a person talking. It's kind of like how dogs hear sounds other than, they don't hear words, they hear sounds. So I kind of like that aspect, and that was kind of cool. But the actor who played him was just so meh in this role. I don't know. I can't really say much. Also, of course, Halloween Horror Nights had to ruin the reveal of the monster, and you can find it online, where someone decided, hey, let's put this guy in this outfit and have him stand around in broad daylight. I'm like, you took away any sort of reason to go see this movie. And first of all, it doesn't look scary. It doesn't look like a monster. It doesn't look like a Wolfman. And that's, I think, there's two things about it I don't like. First, the cast has zero chemistry, which I've already discussed. The second, and this is the most important, barely, if any, see any transformation. And considering they stretch it out the whole movie, you barely actually see any of it. And when it's finally revealed, it's kind of just, you're like, what? What is that? I can't really see it. That's what it felt like the whole movie. I'm like, what the hell? And then you go, what? And then whoa, and then what? And then whoa, and that's all it was. It was like, it was so irritating. It was so frustrating. I was really looking forward to this movie, to be really honest with you, because I loved Invisible Man, and I wanted to see them do something similar to that. Like, let's take a concept like the Invisible Man and make it more sci-fi tech. And then what if you turn the Wolfman and he's more of an affliction? He's like turning slowly into half man, half beast. Like, have like one of his arms like contorted like a wolf and he's trying to hide it, or something like that. Like, you could do so much with it, but they don't do anything with it. And it bugs the hell out of me. It really bugs me because there was a movie that came out a few months prior, and it was a schlocky horror B movie, and it was called Werewolves. And those wolves looked better than this movie. They looked like werewolves. They looked like lycanthropes. They looked like brr, and I'm like, that's a werewolf. I wanted to see that. And then, like, when they confront the people in that movie, you're like, whoa, this is, it's cheesy, but you're like, whoa, they're kind of intimidated because they're so big. It's like, whoa. This movie, none of it. I don't care about these people, so I don't care what happens to them. It fell for the same problem that I had with the later Saw movies. And you'd think with the guy who made the original, you'd think I'd care. But no. This is a perfect example of great idea, terrible execution. And because of that, it ain't good. I give Blumhouse's Wolfman 1.5 out of 5. Have you seen the new Wolfman? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I'll see you next time.